not anything
Do not
crazy.
get me started on the acid. That stuff is not good for you. Nobody should ever take it. And I
Damn,
know you disagree. I know you disagree.
it's a
Nobody
hot
should ever
take.
take it. Now, I've never done it. I but or like but nobody should take that stuff. It's not good for you. It could induce schizophrenia. It can induce a lot of mental
I feel
illness.
like that's really
People,
easy for someone to say who hasn't reaped the benefits of change, like altering your consciousness and like experiencing a
what
new.
benefits? Seeing shapes and shit.
No, dude, that's just like aesthetically. I guess it looks cool. Visually, it looks cool. But dude, like your actual fucking like consciousness shifts. Like you'll think about things that you've never thought about before. You'll have realizations about your subconscious that you have never thought of before. You'll combat some like maybe PTSD or some childhood trauma that you just would never do when you're sober. It could really change your life
But
if you do it the right way. Like don't abuse it, but dude, if you do it the right way, there's so many benefits.
the benefits of psychedelic drugs you're talking about is really is beneficial in studies with microdosing. Now, I don't even know what
Sure.
microdosing is, but it sounds like
You just take
you're
a
using
small
a lot
amount over a
of
period of time.
right. So they've done this with ecstasy. They've done this with acid and mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
The psychedelics and stuff, and people have had improvements right in their mood and past trauma, and it's something we need to look into more, but you can't deny that there are still side effects to this stuff that people need to know about. Like when you take a psychedelic, you run the risk of completely altering your brain chemistry. It's not a safe thing to do, and I do not recommend anyone do it.
I mean, it just seems so easy to like for you to say like there's all these side effects for the psychedelics, and you can't like you shouldn't like what you said for acid. You should never take it. Never take it. What about fucking what about these prescription medications that people take and they have all these side effects that are fucking gnarly, dude. There's people who get these bad side effects from fucking Xanax. I know I keep saying Xanax. I'm just like not. I don't know all the names of these things,
You
but
don't know enough.
dude,
I get
you know what I'm saying, Jake. Like there's all these other drugs that you can get prescribed from a doctor, and they have all these side effects. Or you see a TV commercial for some medication, and they have a list for like 30 seconds of all these fucking side effects that you might come across. And these drugs aren't having anywhere near as positive benefits on you as taking a
the
psychedelic can
commercials are
have.
like, dude, the commercials, like, you see the people all happy and like smiling and playing, and then it goes to the side effects. You may die,
You may
and people
die.
are
You
laughing,
have
like
diarrhea for
dancing.
20 hours. Like yeah, dude.
You
Like
look at
oh,
the
but
commercials that
you wouldn't say never take those, but you would say never take acid, which I don't know. I feel like there's such a negative stigma about it because it's illegal or because of the anti-drug shit that happened in the 70s and like the drug war and all that bullshit. There's such a negative stigma, but I feel like if you don't actually understand the positive benefits that you can get from it, it's you're not really giving it a fair chance here. And you acknowledged like the microdosing, and they're doing these studies with the mushrooms or the MDMA. Which, by the way, there's a bunch of shit with MDMA and in relation to PTSD and war veterans and how much that's really changing their lives and really helping them a lot. So I just think that it's a little close-minded to ignore all of the positive benefits and be like, but all of the bad things, and then just you should never take it. I don't think that you genuinely think that you should never take it. I think that you just kind of said it to be a little to have a hot take and to say something. But I don't think that you genuinely think that
No,
nobody should take
no,
it.
I'm genuinely saying I don't think anyone should take it because you
What
run the risk of
specifically? Acid or mushrooms or MDMA? Like what specifically?
all of it,
All
all
of
of it.
it? All of it.
Psychedelics in general, you run the risk of changing your brain chemistry and creating a mental illness that you have not had before.
What's dude like what's the fucking what are the odds, like I want to see the odds, like how many people do you have to take acid for you to be a schizophrenic for the rest of your life?
Why run that risk?
You want to risk it by driving your car on the highway every single fucking day. You know how many accidents there are, It's safer to fly on an airplane than it is to drive on the road. You go every single day. You drive your car everywhere. You drive past accidents every single day, all the fucking time. People die.
Why increase your risk?
Why increase your risk on driving on the road?
Why increase your risk so you can see shapes? What do you fucking do?
It's
bro?
not to see shapes. It's to change your life. Like almost any person that I know is a better person because they have taken acid or because they have taken a psychedelic.
It does not change your life.
It is life changing. It is life changing. My life is significantly different now that I have taken psychedelics than it would be if I never did. I fucking guarantee you. This is a first-hand experience. I'm telling you that my life has changed. I'm not lying to you. Seriously, like the first time that I took acid was one of the most eye-opening days of my whole life. I'm not don't abuse it. By the way, it's not even something that I would want to abuse because it takes like a toll on you. Like you experience all that shit in one day. You don't want to do it all the time. But dude, like it's not to see fucking colors. I don't know where you got that from. Like, yeah, you see cool shapes, and like when I looked at trees, they were dancing and shit, and the clouds were having a good time, and they were putting on a show for me. Hell yeah, that's all fun and all, but that's not what you take psychedelics for.
But why run the risk of a psychotic episode so you could see dancing trees? To me, that's not worth it.
Why run the risk of driving to Burger King for a Whopper when you see people dying in car accidents every single day?
Because I want my bacon double cheeseburger.
And some people are like, I want some MDMA therapy over here so that I can finally get over this PTSD from something that I haven't been able to get over for 20 years, something that's been keeping me awake at night for the last 20 years. Maybe I'll go to some MDMA therapy and finally help me get over that so I can sleep for the first time.
I think that's a last resort.
Taking MD. Why would it have to be last resort? What if it's the most effective way of doing it? Why should it be last resort?
Because there's like I said, I'm talking about all the risk of psychedelics. They're not a.
First of all, I don't think MDMA is a psychedelic. I think it's classified as something else. I'm not sure that that's a psychedelic.
I believe MDMA is a stimulant, but I believe it's also classified as a psychedelic. It's like paired.
What about this, Jake? What about all the side effects that people can get from alcohol? Like alcoholism, really fucking up their physical body. Should I be like, stay the fuck away from beer, dude? You know how bad that could be? That shit could be, you can get addicted to that. There's arguably way more positive side effects from taking psychedelic than there is from drinking alcohol.
You don't run nearly the risks as when you take a psychedelic.
You know how many people die from drunk car accidents all the time? Drunk driving, or people who abused alcohol and they're addicted. What about nicotine, bro? What about nicotine? What about people who are smoking nicotine, smoking their e-cigs all day?
E-cigarettes are bad.
But they're legal, and like I don't know, man. Like, and what's the positive benefit? What positive benefit from nicotine outweighs the positive benefit of a psychedelic? Nicotine makes you feel good, I guess. I've had it. I have a cigar right here. Like I have a cigar. Like it's still cool, but it's far more dangerous to me than psychedelic, and more addictive. Like psychedelics aren't addictive, man. I don't know if you know that. People don't just start getting addicted to acid. It's not like that. So I think the addictive factor. Go ahead.
You're not gonna like it.
Okay.
Now, to be clear, I don't use nicotine, right? But I would rather be addicted to nicotine than take a psychedelic one time.
That's insane. You're insane. That's crazy, dude. You will die. Like, you get addicted to nicotine, like, it'll kill you over a period of time. You take one psychedelic, that shit's not going to kill you.
People, make your life miserable.
Taking acid one time?
Yes.
Versus being addicted to cigarettes. You think that taking acid one time has a higher risk of making your life miserable than than like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day for 20 years? Like, you think in the long term the cigarette option is going to be worse for you? These are hot takes, man. I just feel like you're just trying to like be controversial. I don't think that you truly believe it. I think you're just saying it.
You put up a great point, but I'm gonna remain Chad and stand by my statement, despite me, you know,
I
being
just,
possibly wrong.
I just like, in my opinion, man, there's so much cool stuff, interesting stuff that you can do with your consciousness, and like so many different things that you can experience and learn more about. It's just,
So meditate. You don't need alcohol or drugs.
yeah, meditation works too. Like, I'm the first one to say it. Like, you can reach states of consciousness that you would think only psychedelics can get you through through meditation. You can feel all these things and see all these things through meditation, but I mean that takes tens of years. You might not even know that altered states of consciousness exist unless you take a psychedelic, and then maybe that would influence you to actually start meditation.
Uh huh. Yeah, I get it.
That's my spiel. That's my spiel.